The grocery store was filled with people rushing through the aisles, picking up expensive items without a second thought. At the checkout counter, a woman with a young girl stood nervously, clutching a few basic groceries. As the cashier scanned each item, the total amount displayed on the screen made the woman swallow hard. She reached into her purse, fumbling through a few crumpled bills and coins. I think I'll have to put some of these back, she whispered, her voice barely audible. Behind her, an impatient man in a suit scoffed. If you can't afford it, don't waste everyone's time, he muttered loudly. Just then, a voice, deep and steady, cut through the tension. She's not wasting anyone's time. But maybe you are. The crowd turned to see Keanu Reeves standing there, his eyes calm but piercing. Where are you watching this from? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoy uplifting stories, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more inspiring content. Now, let's continue. The woman looked at Keanu in shock. The impatient man in the suit opened his mouth to argue but quickly shut it when he realized who had spoken. Keanu stepped forward and gently placed his own credit card on the counter. I'll cover everything, he said, his voice kind yet firm. The cashier hesitated, eyes widening. Mr. Reeves, you don't have to. Keanu simply nodded. I want to. The little girl clutched her mother's hand tightly, her eyes filled with wonder. Mommy, is that really him? She whispered. The woman, tears welling up in her eyes, nodded. Yes, sweetheart, it really is. The impatient man shifted uncomfortably, suddenly aware of the judgmental stares from the crowd. The woman tried to protest, but Keanu gently shook his head. Don't worry about it. We all need a little help sometimes. The groceries were packed, and the woman held the bags close, as if they were something precious. The little girl tugged at Keanu's sleeve. Thank you, mister. She paused, unsure what to call him. Keanu crouched down to her level and smiled. Call me Keanu. Her eyes sparkled as she grinned. Thank you, Keanu. The crowd around them murmured in admiration, the moment touching everyone who witnessed it. As the woman and her daughter turned to leave, Keanu reached into his pocket and pulled out a folded piece of paper. One more thing, he said, handing it to the woman. She hesitated before opening it, gasping as she read the words. It was a note that simply said, for a fresh start. Inside was a check, enough to cover rent for several months. The woman covered her mouth, unable to speak. I can't take this, she stammered. Keanu smiled gently. Yes, you can. And you will. The little girl hugged his leg tightly before running back to her mother. The man in the suit, now visibly embarrassed, lowered his head and quickly left the store. Keanu turned to the cashier and nodded. Always be kind. You never know what someone is going through. The cashier nodded back, moved by the moment. As Keanu walked toward the exit, the crowd remained silent, watching him leave with newfound respect. Just as he stepped outside, the little girl's voice called out, Wait! Keanu turned, and she waved at him. You're the best, Keanu. He chuckled, gave her a thumbs up, and disappeared into the busy streets. If this story inspired you, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an uplifting story. See you in the next one.